All right. So, for those of you who are looking for a left wing solution or right wing solution to the current problems that we have, um, you're looking in the wrong places. You're wanting to be part of a tribe rather than. And this is. I'm not saying everybody who watches this channel does this, but so Trump signs an executive order, and all of a sudden, that particular executive order is unconstitutional because it's a workaround because the Republicans are wrong and the Democrats are wrong. And in this case, I think Trump was rather pragmatic. Now, you can argue this nonsense about him. He's not going to cut. You think Trump's going to cut Social Security and Medicare? Then you're just an idiot. You're just a lemming who believes propaganda because they're saying, well, this particular tax funds. Does any of it matter based on the fact that we just print money? Seriously. So if you're cutting this, no, you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to get some money into the hands of people who need it. Now, we can debate whether that's a good idea or not. There's an argument out there, mostly from the right and probably libertarians, that says if you continuously give people money, it's going to discourage them from joining the workforce. Here's my rebuttal to that right now. There is no workforce to return to. But that was caused by the government. That was caused by the CDC, which is a government agency. Rights have been infringed upon, whether the whole idea that you're in some kind of a cult, if you believe in freedom, if you think that I'm in a cult because I believe in freedom, then I can't help you. We can't converse. So it's the same lack of a coherent conversation. If Trump says, hey, I'm doing this to alleviate this pain because I can't get, now I don't like executive orders. I don't. I mean, but this is a game that's been played for decades now. And if a court finds this unconstitutional, think of what's happening now. So a court is going to rule somewhere all of a sudden, of all the executive orders that you can put out there, not ones that have to do with sending our troops into harm's way. And again, I don't know if there's actually been any, but there have been executive orders on topics that are far more controversial. Yes, the power of the purse should reside in the Congress. Agreed. But it's interesting that the Democrats all of a sudden get a constitutional backbone when Trump is about to deliver a victory. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that they want to do with this bill that has nothing to do with giving people money. And when it comes to the voter laws and so forth, and immigration laws and all kinds of other things that should be voted on separately, they're trying to sneak it in. And this is what happens. This is why our political system is in disarray. Because, these things called riders. Well, I'll put in a rider to eliminate the border wall. Okay, something like that. We're paying money for that wall, and I think we do need. I know, I'll have conversations with libertarians in the future, but I got to tell you, if border security and an actual border is something that is problematic for you, then I don't know, you need to take down every fence around your neighborhood. You need to encourage businesses to stop putting up walls and fences. Churches need to unfence. This is preposterous. Every country on the planet it has a border and has a demarcation point. It's just pathetic at this stage. And most Democrats, not too long ago, including Bernie Sanders, believe that the country needed a border and that we needed to enforce it because If we don't, it's going to drive wages down. It's simple math, but you can't talk that way anymore, or you're considered a xenophobe. And I'm not sticking up for Trump here. I'm just saying it's interesting how the Democrats got a constitutional backbone all of a sudden. Look, if you're really going to do this stuff, then you need to rescind every single executive order ever written, which I don't know if I'd be totally against. Start over. Force Congress to do work and to agree on stuff. This is what unity politics is all about. If Trump says 400 and originally it was 200 on one side, 600 on another, Trump said 400 as a compromise. That's what should have happened in Congress. It did not happen, and people really need this money soon, and people are more concerned, both on the left and the right, I'll be honest with you. They're more concerned about politics and about putting things in these bills that don't belong there. You should have standalone bills. You should have one item. This is what we're voting on. Yes or no, up or down. Show us your cards. Do it now. This is the way the government ought to be working, but it's not. It's not. We're getting closer and closer to a constitutional crisis. Some say that we're already in one. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. I guess I'm just holding out hope in my own mind that we're not there yet, but we probably are right there. When it comes to safety and security, again, even though I'm libertarian and I want people not to be spying on other people and so forth, it doesn't mean I don't want law enforcement to do their jobs, right? And that's where I might differ a little bit. Some will say that's conservative. I don't know what it is. I'm just looking outside, seeing the chaos and saying the chaos needs to stop. And the government is actually, one of their jobs is to make the chaos stop. Especially if it's a legal activity, it needs to stop. It needs to be monitored at the very least. And I know monitoring means, oh no, it means that you're going to, do something, spying and so forth. I don't want bad people, bad actors taking control of communities, because otherwise you're going to have vigilantes running around on both sides, and that's very dangerous, and it creates a world of chaos. And we're there. And this election, doesn't matter what the outcome of this election is, and everybody can see this coming. This is a train wreck coming, and I could see why somebody would want to postpone it, not to keep Trump as president, but just so the country doesn't burn down. We need cooler heads. We need people on both sides of the aisle to say enough is enough. We need to try to work together and get things done. We need to agree to disagree on smaller matters, and we need to have standalone bills and votes that are on these larger issues. We got into this boat a long time ago with executive order and executive power. It's because the other two branches of government have become more and more politicized and more dysfunctional. And that means that the executive at the top has to make these decisions or does these basic decrees. Like, we're moving more and more toward some kind of soft dictatorship. And I know that's scary to people. It's a soft dictatorship. It's not a dictatorship where, tanks roll in the streets, at least not now. But if you don't comply with things, it could happen that way. I mean, if you're not complying with the CDC guidelines, who's to say force isn't involved in your compliance at some stage? Donald Trump isn't the first guy to do this, and he won't be the last guy to do this unless we go full Constitution again. And it doesn't appear we're going in that direction. One of the reasons I like libertarians is because they actually take the Constitution seriously. Democrats don't. The Republicans pay it some lip service, but technically they don't. So you're kind of out on your own if you believe in the Constitution. We can disagree a little bit here and there on certain interpretations, but for the most part, it's pretty cut and dry. First, second, fourth, 10th, all these amendments that right now are being trampled on. And there are all kinds of crazy, wild schemes and scenarios that people are basically wargaming right now for the election and for the months to come. Right now, I've never seen a country. So here's the thing: you got to have Trump fail. You have to have him fail, and because you have to have him fail, that means certain groups of Americans are going to really suffer. And for a lot of people, that's okay. For the people who disagree with those Americans on political issues, that's great. They're going to suffer. They don't care. To get Trump out of office, people are going to suffer, needlessly suffer when they don't have to. That's been the goal this entire year, whether you like Trump or not. And anybody can see it now. When you look at this whole lockdown thing, how that's been done, how if Trump says he likes, a certain medication, won't name it here because, censorship. All of a sudden, you can't talk about that. You've got doctors who come out and make a speech. They're doctors. They're not like conspiracy theorists. They're doctors. There's no unity in this country. There's no unity of purpose where people say, you know what, rather than fight and argue, we're going to work together. We're going to get things done. Because right now it's urgent. There's an urgency to this. This isn't just somebody with a great idea back in 1987 or whatever, and they're proposing it. This is something that we need to start working on right now, immediately, so people get relief and help. Rolling back a tax when you can print money all day long is not a constitutional crisis, but the procedure involved, the fact that you're essentially saying, here comes another executive order. I don't like them. I've never liked them because I knew if I liked executive orders by one president, I would hate them by another president. And that's exactly what's happened. You need votes in the Congress. You need people to elect representatives to go up there and vote the way that those people want them to vote. And then those votes need to be cast and those bills need to be enacted. And the majority of the country, I think, believes that. But I will say this, there is a growing minority that believes that they actually believe in the soft dictatorship. And it's here. It's here. It's been here for a long time. It's been here since George W. Bush, I would say. Maybe Clinton a little sporadically, but they were voting. The 90s, they actually worked together, whether you liked what they passed and what they didn't pass. Clinton did it for political reasons. He actually worked with the other side to get reelected, and it worked for him. And the country was a better place. There wasn't as much. There was mud being thrown, but not to this like by the minute. This crazy social media onslaught, 24/7. You want the government to work and work together to get things done. This left-right paradigm thing, it's either us against them. That's what it is right now. It's not a left-right paradigm. You may have left tendencies on social issues, whatever. We've been over this. But you need to start to work together with your fellow American so that person can go to work each day, or that person has money if the government says you can't go to work, but then the goal is to allow that person to go back to work at some point. And job creation is important right now because you took all of these jobs away. You, meaning the government, took them all away. So both left and right should be saying, all right, the rioters on all these bills, the petty stuff that has nothing to do with the task at hand, that's blackmail, because you're saying, oh yeah, I'll give you the $600 a month or the $400 a month, but you've got to endorse all this crap that I added to the bill. This has been going on for years. There need to be standalone bills. Vote on one thing at a time. Don't allow attachments. As soon as you allow attachments, you completely corrupt what's being discussed, because then people will say, oh, you're not willing to vote for the children? Well, it's not about the children anymore. You want to eliminate, I don't know, whatever program, or you want to add to a program that this isn't about. And then you can go in the media and tell everybody, oh, he's not willing to vote for the children. These are all lies. This is fake news. This is fake politics, is what it is. It's fake politics. I'm tired of fake politics. You can do what you want to do. If you want to be the person that hunkers down and is progressive and believes that, a certain progressive thing is going to solve, no, it's not. Same thing with those on the right. Eliminating this and that. Yeah, we could look at all of those things and they can be on the table, but that's a long-term goal. Short-term is restoring faith in the institutions. Right now, faith is crashing. The institutions are crashing, and faith in those institutions is crashing even faster. So this is fake politics. All of this is kabuki theater. It's just fake. And, we need to get back to serious matters, adult conversations. This benefit will help these people temporarily. This payroll tax reduction is not going to destroy Medicare or Social Security. That's a lie. People need to stop lying. People need help. People need help right now because of what the government did to them. So because of what the government did to them, the government is I think, obligated or on the hook to help the people that they destroyed. No? I think so. So that's my video. There is no unity politics right now. There is fake politics. So thanks for watching. See you soon.